And darling, honey, boo-boo, whatever you are, I'm telling you that you are making the right decision for yourself.
That's okay? For the ladies. For the guys, it's worth it. It's worth the wait, and it's totally worth it when you eventually get in their pants and you're like, boy, you're amazing, and I loved the fact that I waited for you. Okay, so don't rush it. Don't rush getting in the pants.
Hi there, my name is Elizabeth.
Hey, my name is Ugo.
And welcome to another episode of Youthful Vibes, where we bring fun and enlightenment to the journey of youth. Today we're going to be continuing part 2 of how to know if he or they are the one for you.
Boundaries edition.
Yes. I totally missed my cue then, but it's okay.
But before we go into it, I want to talk about Package for Success for a second. If you didn't pre-order Package for Success, it's too late now. Pre-order is over, but it's now out for regular order, and it's out on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Pretty much all your major book retailers will have it. And it's a book that walks you step by step through the process of discovering your life's mission and helps you figure out how to live a fulfilled life. For everyone that pre-ordered though, we didn't tell you this before, but we went through and we autographed every single one of the pre-order copies, and we've just now shipped them out, and they're on their way headed to you.
You're welcome.
It took a little work, but we did it.
All right, let's get on with the boundaries. If you're watching this video, we are making the assumption that you are either abstinent or celibate. Either way, you have decided to go on this journey in your new relationship of no sex before marriage.
Exactly. And whatever is the reason that led you to this point, it's up to you. You know yourself. But we just want to make it clear, we're not making this video for anybody else besides the people who have decided that they want to wait until they're in a relationship, in a committed marital relationship with somebody. So we're not trying to convince you to wait on sex. We're not trying to tell you reasons why you should wait on sex. That's already totally up to you. But if you have decided to wait on sex, then this video is for you.
Right. And we put this under how to know if they're the one, because whomever your partner is that you feel like you're gonna get married to, when you make this decision, you cannot force this decision upon them. You know that they are the one if they come into your relationship with the same mindset. Not that you're forcing upon your views or your opinions of wanting to wait till marriage.
Yes.
Okay, they've got to want it for themselves.
Yeah. And
you'll be surprised how many people are actually out there that are like, this relationship that I am entering, I am setting this sexual boundary for us. Okay, and if you feel like you're forcing that person to enter a non-sexual relationship with you or to have sexual boundaries with you, then you need to consider whether or not that person is the one for you.
Yeah, so they pretty much have to have a reason beyond just because you said so. So if you say, hey, I want to wait on sex, or regarding sex, I want to wait until after we get married. If they go, hey, you want to wait, then you know. But if they say, oh yeah, good idea, or yes, I've been thinking about it myself, they have to have their own reason for wanting to wait if they're the one. Because if not, we made a video earlier about how to know if he only wants to hook up, if all he wants is sex. We're gonna link it. If not, it's a red flag, and we talked about it in depth with that video, so you should watch it. The link is gonna be above, and you will know if he's like, but okay, we can do it because you said so. Yeah, at some point down the line, he's gonna want to get some.
Yes. And we acknowledge that going down this path of having sexual boundaries is not easy. We did it in our relationship before we got married, and
we did it as in we went down the path and it wasn't easy, not that we ended up having sex before marriage. You gotta clarify that.
Oh gosh. Thanks for the clarification. Because I mean, obviously we don't need those sexual boundaries now, but you know, we needed them then. And and it was something that we actually both came into our relationship with the mindset of having those sexual boundaries. I was in a place where I was just kind of like, okay, this is what I need in my life. And he was in a place where it's like, dude, I'm not trying to hook up, I'm trying to get married, so this is how this is gonna be.
And even with those decisions, just to say, boundaries alone by themselves don't make it any less difficult to keep yourself or to wait on sex. It's difficult, but boundaries help a lot. As a matter of fact, the Bible doesn't even tell you to set boundaries. For the most part, the Bible says flee. And I believe it's 2 Timothy 2:22 says it clearly. Flee from all versions of anything that leads to youthful lust. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to pray about it from, oh my gosh, God, save me from this temptation. Oh my gosh, we're getting to, no. Flee. It means like pray, but pray on your way. Okay, but having said that though, let's talk about some tips now on some boundaries that we have found to work and we believe will be useful for you if you really like someone but you want to wait until marriage to have sex.
The first, and I think my favorite, is taking alcohol out of the equation. Okay, my drunken brothers and sisters, or my tipsy brothers and sisters, we know how alcohol can affect us, okay? We know how some of us get tipsy and we get all handsy and we want to touch everybody and tell everybody that we love them, okay? And we know that some of us are an emotional wreck. We want someone to hold us and to caress us and tell us that it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
I'm not drunk, nor am I tipsy.
I will make sure of that.
I know it's gonna be okay. But if you feel like this is you, I mean, even if you don't know if this is you, don't find out, okay? Don't cause yourself to end up in a situation where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have had that glass of red wine with dinner last night.
Yeah, so pretty much in your relationship with this person, especially when you guys are together, take alcohol out of the picture. It distorts your judgment and blurs those boundaries, the line between what you would do when you're sober and when you're intoxicated, even by a little bit. So as much as possible, drink water or drink
juice.
Drink juice.
Or my husband's favorite, Arnold Palmer, please.
Don't spike nothing. Don't. And we're not explicitly saying anything regarding alcohol per se. We're just saying if you're trying to keep yourself when you're with this person, stay away from alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you're with your girlfriends, that's a whole different story. Let's talk about kissing, man.
Okay, so the next point is another tip in terms of setting boundaries is how physical you guys get.
I think this is my husband's favorite.
Yes, this one's my favorite. See, because one thing leads to another, and we're gonna have to stay real with this one. Okay, if you don't want to have sex with this person and you start kissing passionately, and then you go into French kissing and you start really making out, you get into it, now you start touching, because there's this I don't know if this research is true or not, but it said if you take a frog and you throw it into hot water, it will jump out or it will die or whatever. But I think it said it will jump out. But if you put it in cold water and then you turn up the heat gradually, it will die, because the skin, for whatever reason, doesn't really sense a huge, it doesn't sense huge, it doesn't sense gradual temperature changes. So this same analogy, if a guy wants to have sex with you, you're gonna be like, no, I want to keep myself in marriage. But if you stop making out, then you start touching. And then making out leads to touching, which is part of making out. But then stuff, it's easier for you to slip into those areas. So I say, as much as possible, if you're serious about it, kill the monster when it's a baby.
So can you tell that someone did not make out with me while we were dating?
Yes, because I know myself. Because you know how it is. Like when girls start saying stop and stuff, it turns you on even more. Oh, should I be saying that on camera?
No, you should not be saying that on camera.
Sorry, y'all. It came out. My bad. I don't be censoring things sometimes. My bad. Oops. I shouldn't have said that. But don't start, because then when you start, it's difficult to want to pace yourself or want to stop. So we say, watch how physical you get when you guys are together.
The next point, as my husband likes to call it, is seclusion, okay? Do not go to their place, his or hers. Don't get yourself in trouble. This man wouldn't go to the movies with me, so he added cars also as a place of seclusion.
See, listen, again, keeping it real. you can have sex pretty much anywhere, okay? You can, cars, his place, your place, anywhere you guys are alone. And
But you're not alone at the movies.
Some people get freaky when it's dark and there's only one single source of light coming. It sets the mood for bad things to happen.
Yikes.
You just gotta know yourself and let the other person.
So babe, are you saying that you've done stuff in the movies?
Anyway, so what I'm saying is,
Who's the girl? What's her name? Where was this?
What we're saying is, watch how you are in secluded places. Now, realistically speaking, if it's someone that you're dating or someone that you really like and you're looking to spend the rest of your life with them, or you're looking to know them intimately, there's almost no way that you wouldn't end up in a place where you guys are together. But you know when the mood starts coming in, just make sure that you guys are not in a place that's conducive for stuff to go down. So his place, your place, a car, just a friend's place, whatever the case is, where you're gonna end up being together.
Alone together.
With
that being said, that also adds no sleepovers and no overnight trips. Okay? I know some of y'all like to be like, oh, we're going on vacation. Well, honey boo boo, unless you're going on vacation with friends and the girlfriends are staying in one room and the boyfriends are staying in the other room, don't do it.
Yeah.
You're getting yourself in trouble.
And this is also where it's easier for people who are in a long distance relationship because there's some distance between you. So when we're in college, when I was in college, she was already working. When she came to visit me,
I was a maid woman.
Yeah, whatever. So when she came to visit me, it was one of those things that was, like we had a friend of ours come stay with us just because, again, we knew that, he couldn't stand
to be alone with me.
If you left us alone, freaky things was gonna happen. So we made sure that adults that we had somebody else.
We had a chaperone, y'all. We had a chaperone.
We had someone else.
So basically, he slept on the couch. I slept on the bed, but we were not alone. So it couldn't be like in the middle of the night, he would decide to come jump in the bed to get some. Like there was somebody else there.
Just again, you can keep it real or lie about it. The truth is, I just wouldn't want to poke the fire. We didn't want to poke the fire because, again, some people get
burnt.
Yeah, pretty bad sometimes. Okay, and then the last thing we want to point out, not the last, but this one is so applicable to me. I'm the kind of friend that if you have me in your personal circle, we ain't gonna lie to each other, right? Like we're there to help each other get better. So I have a friend, shout out to you, you know yourself, that we have this kind of like one of the roles that he plays in my life is he's an accountability partner to me, and I am to him as well. And even now that we're married, we're that way.
And not to each other, obviously.
What do you mean?
You said even now that we're married, I had to let him know that you're not married to each other.
Oh, it's not her. I don't know. That person's a dude. We're not married to each other. I really said the obvious there, babe.
I just had to let the people know.
But you need to find an accountability partner that you can be real with, that you can pray together with, because it's not going to be easy, but you can also talk things over with in a real way where you're not hiding what you've done or hiding what you're thinking about doing. But you can talk about it with this person, you can pray about it with this person, you can agree together with this person, and of course my wife knows who it is, and do life together in a way that benefits you guys.
And your accountability partner is not the person who tells you, honey, you need to test drive the car before you take it out of the lot. Okay? I'm saying this because I got a lot of these when we were dating, okay? And if that's your accountability partner, I feel like it hurts you on a certain level because it causes you to question your judgment of whether or not you're making the right decision. And darling, honey, boo-boo, whatever you are, I'm telling you that you are making the right decision for yourself.
That's okay? For the ladies. For the guys, it's worth it. It's worth the wait, and it's totally worth it when you eventually get in their pants and you're like, boy, you're amazing, and I loved the fact that I waited for you. Okay, so don't rush it. Don't rush getting in the pants. Okay, but the last thing.
Let them know, babe.
I mean, seriously, I love it when I see young couples who have chemistry. Even we have 2 kids, we have 2 toddlers. As a matter of fact, our life outside of like our life as parents is so hectic sometimes with 2. You have a 3-year-old, and Solomon is 3-year-old, and Isabella is 1.5. And both of them they're ruling. They have everything. Like it's so. Kids change a lot, and we're deciding that we're not gonna let our chemistry, we're not gonna let our love, we're not gonna let our passion die. And one of the things that makes it possible for us to get through this phase now and do it lovingly and enjoy each other and just be into each other is because when we were dating, we were able to get through tough decisions together, like waiting on sex. So for dudes, it's worth it.
Yes, so I feel like that the whole test driving, it's a thing about compatibility that a lot of people worry about. Am I gonna be compatible with that person? You know, should I test drive it to see if we're gonna work out? It's okay to have those questions, and it's okay to have those conversations with your partner about whether or not you guys are compatible. However, hubby has suggested to not have this conversation in the same room because some people can get turned on.
Yeah.
So the preference for these types of conversations are in a public place, as in a restaurant, in which you will both be driving to separate locations afterwards or over the telephone.
Yeah, just because it can get really passionate. You know, like, oh, you like that? Oh my gosh, you really? And then before you know it, now you guys are really turned on, and now stuff's gone south. Anyway, but at the end of the day, what we really want to leave you guys with here is, you can do everything you can do everything within your power, but it comes down to being able to take practical steps, but also be able to pray about it. So we urge you to keep on praying about it. You can't do it alone. You need God to help you. So keep on praying about your relationship. Keep on praying about the person that you really, really like, but you don't want to have, you really like, you have chemistry, but you don't want to have sex with. You want to hold yourself till you're married. It is possible. It can be done. It's just difficult. You have to put in some really rigid things in place, but pray about it and keep on praying about it. If there's someone you can pray together with, perfect. But don't feel like culture says do it, therefore you must do it, because culture says test drive it before you buy it. You're not a car, okay? You don't depreciate over time.
You can ride it like a car.
Who's controlling? Oh my God.
That is the end of our video. How to know if they are the one, part 2, boundaries edition. I did miss my cue that time. All right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, like, click on the bell to, notify that ring-a-ding-ding so that you can know when we drop something hot.